Welcome back, everyone. Despite trailing by nearly 20 points during the first half, the Lakers were able to pull out a win and get their revenge against the Indiana Pacers. If you don't remember the last time they played, rookie Andrew Nembhard hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer, and I think it's safe to say the Lakers remembered that. They had to battle hard to come back in this one, and while it was certainly not pretty, it will end up as a W nonetheless. And following that win, they are now only one game behind the Pelicans for the 10th seed, who are currently getting beat by nearly 25 points while I'm recording this video. Not only that though, but they are the Lakers' opponent on Saturday, and if the Lakers were able to pull that one out, they would finally climb back into playoff contention. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, there were a number of key takeaways from their win tonight, and I think we can all agree that number one would have to be the dominance of Anthony Davis. I mean, they are a completely different team with him on the court. Not only do they have one of the best defensive anchors in the entire league with him healthy, but they have a nearly unstoppable pick and roll duo with him and LeBron, or really Anthony Davis with nearly anybody. And I would be willing to bet that AD heard that he was not selected to be in the All-Star game, which only further incentivized him to have a big game. And he did that to the tune of 31 points, 14 rebounds, and a potentially game-saving block on Tyrese Haliburton, all of which were very much needed for them to pull out this win. But another guy who is absolutely key for them happened to be Patrick Beverley, who, despite missing 2 clutch free throws, he made a big-time three-point shot, and then his defense was incredibly important for them throughout the game. Beverley led their team with 3 total steals, and then tied with Anthony Davis with 2 blocks, and 2 of those steals came within the final 3 minutes of the game. Even though the box score might not always show it, Patrick Beverley will tend to find a way to make an impact, and it definitely showed both on the court and within the box score tonight. He ended up leading them with a plus-minus rating of positive 16, and that was by far the highest rating on their team. In fact, he was their only starter with a non-negative plus-minus. I really doubt they win this one without Pat Bev. We might not be a fan of their small ball lineups, but finding a way to get Patrick Beverley in the game is sometimes needed. Now, I'm not really sure they needed Westbrook in their late game lineup tonight, who could not hit a shot to save his life in this one, but I guess it ended up working out for them. Finally though, in regard to the LeBron scoring watch, he is now only 63 points away from the all-time record, and I imagine he would like to hit that while going on a winning streak. And they will have a great opportunity to do that with an upcoming game against the downward spiraling Pelicans, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder after that. With all of that being said though, I will leave all of you with a few post-game interviews from tonight, and after watching them, let me know your key takeaways from this game.
Davis, I know you pride yourself on the defensive side of the basketball court. Can you take me through the possession there with Haliburton having you ISO'd at the top of the floor there?
He's a downhill driver. Watching for a step back. He started attacking. Good finisher. Just try to stay on his body and make him shoot over the top. And I saw when he left the ground, he had to shoot it, so I just timed it using my defensive instincts. Getting a good block. We got a steal. Got the rebound, and another big stop down there. Pat missed both free throws, unlikely. And it's definitely not him, so we just take it another stop. That's what we did.
It's the type of play that we've seen from you a lot in how the game has changed, with bigs having to come out at times and still defend on the perimeter. AD, how do you avoid fouling? How do you kind of time that the right way?
Don't use your hands. Move them puppies. You got to move your feet, arms out, make him go through your chest. If you make a tough shot, you make a tough shot. He's a great player. He's probably their star player here. Well, he is their star player here. Been playing well. Coming back, just wants to make a tough shot. But you got to move your feet.
A game that you guys certainly needed to win.
Everybody.
As Dennis comes over, AD, wasn't the cleanest game for you guys. How did you end up coming through down the stretch and holding Indy to 15 points?
Will, determination. We come out and we get punched in the mouth a lot, and we kind of respond off of that. So we got to do a better job of coming out and playing with that sense of urgency, effort, and energy to start the game. But we're a team that's resilient. We're a team that's fighting. We know the position we're in. We had a good talk about it, what we have to do. We control our own destiny, got to win basketball games, and he's there to come out and come back and get a good one tonight.
3 steals, 2 blocks, plus 16. Just wanted to ask you individually, defensively, what about this game and this matchup had you kind of keyed in? And those are just the stats, but including all the stuff off the ball and just the overall defense.
I heard Halliburton did an interview a while ago, and he mentioned my name, didn't it? You know, for a first-year guy to mention my name, especially all the work I done in this league defensively, I felt it was, I wouldn't say disrespectful, but I remembered his words. So I took it kind of personal, and I wanted that challenge tonight. Coach gave it to me, and subscribed to the pod.
You said you remember the words. Was it just kind of, was it challenging your defensive play, or what?
He just said my name.
Got it. So how did with that in mind individually, how do you also kind of keep in mind the team concepts and you guys as a team held them to 15 points in the fourth quarter? How much did that all kind of mold together for you?
We did it defensively. Obviously, when you have Anthony Davis behind you, you can be aggressive and pick and roll and on the ball. I was able to kind of get some, my hand on a couple balls early in the fourth quarter. Unfortunate that we had to use a challenge early off a clean steal that we could have kind of saved later, which kind of, which would have led to an open layup. Unfortunate, but refs got the call correct.
15 points in that fourth quarter after they had been scoring pretty consistently. What was the biggest change? What was working on that side of the court for you?
Just us being more assertive on the ball, putting pressure on the ball, guys being locked in and engaged off the ball, the communication, the sense of urgency to get stops and to get rebounds. And we shared the ball a lot better, so the offense was a lot better. And, I just think our effort, just guys moving on to the next play. We had some unfortunate turnovers and some missed shots in that second half, but I thought it bled into our defense in the first half. But the second half, we were able to move on from those type of plays and get refocused in a hurry and get a stop.
Halliburton gets AD ISO there. Darvin, it's a play you've seen from AD several times over the years, sticking with a guard like that. But can you just kind of take us through that possession?
I mean, that's what makes him so unique. He's one that's not trying to press up on the guard to show that, mano y mano, he's going to force him to go one way and then beat him to the spot. And, his mobility is what I mentioned before the game. His mobility, when he's playing pain-free, he's one of the more elite defenders in our league, top 5 in my opinion. And again, he can move his feet, so he can guard 1 through 5 in situations like that.
Did you see the news about the All-Star reserves having any sort of motivating factor in Anthony's performance tonight?
Man, that's all. It's if he made it, great. If not, we got bigger business to take care of, in terms of trying to make it to the postseason. It's unfortunate if he didn't make it. I haven't looked at anything, haven't heard anything. Okay, well, good. He gets to get some rest in and get ready for this home push. We have business to take care of. That's a fun weekend. Salute to the league. They do a hell of a job putting on a great weekend of festivities, from the game itself on down. But, it's about Laker business right now. We got to get ourselves back to where we belong, and that's in the postseason. And it starts with performances like we had in New York and the one we had tonight. We just got to continue this trend.
LeBron, the fourth quarter, the defense was obviously good and held them to 15 points, but on offense, you spent a lot of time, seemed like battling inside and getting position, getting some big rebounds. Was there something that you just noticed about that space on the floor while you were kind of using your force down there?
No, just reading the game properly. I understood that, my game was needed more in the interior tonight than the exterior. And not on the perimeter, so I try to work my wheel down there, get some extra rebounds, get some easy buckets around the rim, and allowed us to have some pain points, get us into the bonus early. That was really good for us, even though we didn't convert a few of them, but we were attacking, especially in that fourth quarter.
The AD that you saw, kind of block Halliburton there after the ISO, it's just a play that we've seen from him many times. There aren't that many players in the league that can do it. Obviously, you've switched on to guards and done the same thing. What's the key in that situation, and does that tell you anything about AD, like starting to find his rhythm again?
Yeah, AD can guard everyone in this league, and we feel real confident when we start switching late game, or if we decide to go to a switch package, that he can stay in front of guards. And then it's our job on the weak side to keep the big off the glass and not lose track of shooters that may be relocating on drive. So, AD did a great job of being able to contain Halliburton and get the block and save it.